Hi everyone. In this week's Parsha, Toldos, we learn about Rivka Imenu and Yitzchak Avinu and their struggle to have children. We know that for 20 years they remained barren. For 20 years they davened, please Hashem, please give us the bracha of children. And finally, after 20 years, that bracha is drawn down and Rivka Imenu becomes pregnant. But it doesn't actually play out the way that she maybe expected it to. The Torah tells us, Vayitro tzatzu habanim bekirba, that the children moved violently against each other within her womb. And that was very scary for her. Vatomer imken lama ze anochi. She didn't understand what was happening. And so when it would happen, she would say, why is this happening? What is this? Vatelech lidrosh es Hashem. And so she went to ask of Hashem. Now, we know that there were two children within her, and they were struggling against each other. But when she imagined herself being pregnant for those 20 years, she probably thought of, the glow and the joy and the excitement. And really, when it played out, in actuality, it was painful for her and it was scary and it caused her a lot of anxiety. So what does she do? She goes to ask Hashem. She goes to daven to Hashem to help her understand why it is playing out this way. So many times in our lives, we have a certain image of how our life should play out. We have a certain bracha that we ask Hashem for, and we have in our imagination how that's going to look in our lives. And it doesn't always work that way. We know that Hashem has a plan for all of us. We know that everything that Hashem gives us is for our own good. But sometimes it's very hard to see how it's for our own good. So in that way, we should follow the gates that Rivka Imenu was opening for us in this pasuk. And we should have the strength to turn to Hashem and say to Hashem, please help me to understand how this is good. Please help me to understand how this bracha that you're giving me is actually a bracha. Please help me to understand how this is going to help me to grow as a person. Or, please help me to understand how I am just fulfilling your ratzon, your plan for me. And maybe I don't need to understand it, but I need to know that it's your will, Hashem. So my bracha for us this week is that we should draw down the strength of Rivka Imenu, that when the things that we asked for in our life don't look like what we thought we wanted, that we should turn to Hashem. We should have that strength to go back to Hashem and ask Him for guidance and ask Him for clarity and ask Him for the strength to still continue to walk along that path, even if we don't always understand it. And hopefully, we'll be able to see the good that He has in mind for us, that He always has in His plan for us, and that Bezrat Hashem, it should look good to us as well. Shabbat Shalom.